I just watched Tony Fauci and CNN and Fox tell me that people with the vaccine, vaccinated people, are now spreading the coronavirus. A couple of days ago, I was yes, I'm vaccinated. Yeah, your little sticker. Yay, I'm vaccinated. Be a hero, be vaccinated. I went from being a hero because I'm vaccinated, and now you motherfuckers are calling me a super spreader? I ain't no fucking super spreader. Figure this shit out.
And this is Mr. Wes Borland. How many people out there have had one of those days? Oh yeah.
It's just one of those days. Everything is fucked. Everybody sucks. No motherfucker. It's just one of those days.
Today is the first day of the annual motorcycle rally in Sturgis, South Dakota. Despite rising COVID cases and the very transmissible Delta variant, 700,000 people are expected to attend. Now, last year, nearly 500,000 people said the hell with masking and social distancing. They made the trek to Sturgis. Perhaps that's partly because South Dakota's Republican governor basically told everyone they had nothing to worry about. Now, in retrospect, there's some pretty good data that Sturgis wound up being one of the most catastrophic pandemic events of the year. And it had many characteristics of a super spreading event. What happens when hundreds of thousands of people gather in tight spaces like bars and restaurants and concert venues.
Hey, I said,
This year's massive Sturgis motorcycle rally starts today, and many doctors are worried it could become a super spreader event.
You know, bikers look forward to this rally all year long, but this year it comes at a time when the Delta variant is ripping through this country.
This could be a super spreader. We don't want it to be, but that's the reality.
Chicago health officials have found 203 cases of COVID-19 connected to this event right there, Lollapalooza. However, they are not calling this a super spreader event.
So testing and getting people vaccinated.
If it's possible to pull these things off safely with the spread of the Delta variant, do you think that large-scale events like Lolla should continue? And
people are not going to sit at home and not do anything until the whole world is vaccinated.
Today is the start of the Sturgis motorcycle rally in South Dakota. You may remember last year that rally was actually labeled a COVID super spreader event, and now there's concerns about this year's rally as well.
So Lollapalooza follow-up. We like emergency data. It's a way to see, are we seeing any changes in what we call syndromic surveillance? We didn't see any changes in COVID-like illness patterns, did not see increases or additional cases coming in, have not seen anything different at the city level in terms of patterns that would suggest an impact from Lolla. These cases may or may not have resulted from transmission at Lolla itself. We want to investigate. We're not saying that every one of these folks was infected at Lolla. In fact, we expect they were not. There's no evidence at this point of a super spreader event.
Let me tell you something. A lot of people complain about Amazon and all that shit. They say, oh, Jeff Bezos this, and the other guy, the Virgin Atlantic guy, the other guy went to Saturn or Pluto. Tell you something about Amazon. I'm a consumer. I'm Michael Rappaport, the consumer. I'm in there. I find what I want like I'm a cow on a farm. I look like a fucking cow on a farm, dibbling and dabbling with our dicks in our hands. Okay?
You wash your hands and everything?
I wash my hands every day.
Yeah, because the world really cares about you.
Oh, no, I wash my hands every day. Every day. I stay in my house.
Good.
Sit right there and look at the fucking wall. That's what I fucking do. What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Shootings are up and, murders are basically flat.
Yeah. Look, I think no one can be satisfied with where we are right now in shootings and homicides. The uptick that we're seeing in domestic violence or in the number of opioid addictions and overdoses. We were hoping that it would just be something that's pandemic related, and I think it is, but it's continued. August is make or break. We've got to double down more.
At least 45 people were shot, 4 of them killed, including the Chicago police officer since last night. And according to the Chicago Sun-Times, so far this month, 155 people have been shot in gun violence across the city.
Washing your hands all the time. Well, my freedom is being kind of disturbed here. Screw your freedom. It's like no different than a traffic light. We put a traffic light at the intersection.
And the fact that a young child in first grade is talking about download speeds suggests everything.
And one quick second question. Did you get to watch the debate and did you have any thoughts about it?
We're going to defeat this RICO.
Every new poll that comes out is cause for concern for Gavin Newsom. This latest one shows that more than half of all those likely voters will say yes on the recall.
Look, the ball's in Gavin Newsom's court. It's his job. He has the numbers in terms of registration advantage. His approval rating is around 50%. He's got to turn out that vote. What he doesn't have is the energy. On the Republican side, they are energized.
What you see on this board here, and I'm going to go over this individually, are deviants, incredible deviants. Much to their chagrin, instead of meeting with children, young children, they were met by law enforcement officers who were online, undercover, posing as children. These are nasty, nasty, nasty people. And when we go through this, understand that obviously we can't even use the words that they used. But we'll start with Jonathan McGrew. Jonathan works for Disney, and he dates Savannah Lawrence. Guess what? She works for Disney Hollywood Studios. Are you kidding me? Well, if that's not enough, Disney employees, how about another one? This one is a lifeguard at Disney Animal Kingdom Lodge. He left his girlfriend, who was 7 months pregnant with his child, in order to go have sex with a child. He's a Navy veteran. That's right. He was working toward a dive team or a SEAL team or some kind of special ops job. They did a background on him and found out that he had friends or affiliates that were gang members, and they tossed him. But that didn't stop him from showing up in his work clothes from Disney in order to have sex. He's a registered nurse. He traveled to meet a 14-year-old girl. He left his 7- and 8-year-old children with his mother so he could show up to have sex with the child. He is a store manager for Starbucks. I bet they're proud. He is a custodian. There's something with custodians, this operation. He likes smelly feet. He is a garbage truck driver. That's what he does. David Ring's not employed. This guy's got a problem. He's married. He's married. He delivers pizzas for Domino's. He lives with his mom. He says he's a professional poker player. He lost. He doubled down, and we trumped him. As you can see, these are not kids. These are adults. We are happy that we caught 17.
It's been a devastating week for many first responders here in Central Florida, 3 of their own dying from COVID-19.
You're my favorite kind of people, fully vaccinated and chanting my name. Did I go to Barack Obama's birthday party? So, Steve, what was the party like? I don't know, I didn't go.
So in Florida, which is breaking all records for its most COVID cases ever this week, you see it there. Now, this is not a drill.
Former President Obama said to have scaled back the guest list for his 60th birthday bash. Man, was that tent big, Dana. The party did go on. Hundreds of guests in attendance. The former president can be seen in pictures hitting the dance floor without a mask. We're told that he danced all night and had a great time. Happy birthday to the president.
Would these kids going back to school wearing masks perhaps be able to be protected from being in that situation?
Well, so I think it's a bigger question about the unvaccinated.
We're all still trying. Doctors are trying. The CDC is trying. People who are coming in with COVID, some of them with symptoms close to fatal, why they are still not getting vaccinated?
There are several reasons.
Frank Sachs was a Cuban-American father of 5 who never managed to take time away from his store to get vaccinated. Frank died from COVID 3 weeks ago, and his children are telling others to get their shot before it's too late. He spent the last month of his life in a hospital alone. Please, I urge you, if you are able to, get vaccinated.
Thank you, Alicia, for having me to share this very important story. I know that they tried all they could to save my father, and unfortunately, he chose not to be vaccinated, and he's no longer here with us.
perfect. Literally perfect.
Yes.
Could it be anything but perfect?
Yeah.
It's literally perfect. Perfect! You Pearl Harbor me, I Nagasaki you. Yes! Be ready to destroy evil. China,
Yeah.
Democrats, Chicago.
When the Biden administration announced its reckless retreat from Afghanistan in April, I made my opposition perfectly clear.
We begin with breaking news from Afghanistan, where Taliban fighters have now captured 2 more key cities, Lashkargah and Kandahar. Taliban fighters say they seized hundreds of weapons, vehicles and ammunition, American-supplied vehicles.
This administration is saying this is not an evacuation. With the Taliban surging, you have thousands of U.S. troops who are moving in. And over a month ago, President Biden said it was highly unlikely the Taliban would overrun everything. But is that really what we're looking at?
What happened? What went wrong?
He was looking at a very different set of circumstances. Basically, the bottom fell out of that proposition and, in very, very rapid fashion.
The Taliban have captured the capital of Afghanistan's Nimruz province. Earlier in the day, gunmen shot and killed the head of the Afghan government's media and information center in Kabul. The UN Security Council is expected to meet in the next hour in a special session to discuss the worsening situation in the country.